This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
All right, so if you've been listening to Brandon for a while, perhaps you are in that phase of life, you're in retirement. You very well remember the days before we had the luxury that is GPS. You know, Brandon, kids these days, they'll never know the feeling of Yahoo Maps.
Yes.
I mean, printing out the wrong directions and then getting to the place you thought you were going and realizing that you are nowhere near where you're supposed to be and then having to bust out. You know, remember the book of maps we would have in the back seat? It's in the back of every single car of anybody over the age of 40-something still has their old spiral-bound book of maps in the back seat.
Those Rand McNally, the foldable ones, you can never fold it back how it's supposed to be.
You really
That's
can't.
the first thing. But I can't even imagine now having daughters that drive. Oh my gosh, having kids that are out there driving and there's no maps, there's no GPS.
Yep.
Our
parents just let us run out the house.
So
we would
reckless.
just go out, and when would we see them again? We didn't have cell phones. It was just like, good luck.
Yeah.
It's a very different world we live in now.
Wow.
The whole idea about what it used to be to get directions about where you were going. Well, this is comedian Greg Warren expressing some of his grievances over the issue.
Our house is the one with the big maple in the front yard. You can't miss it. I can miss it. I'm gonna miss it. Here's the trees I know. Christmas. That's it. That's the only one. Just give me your address. That would be a better system. That's why they have that system. Don't tell me about architecture. That's not going to help either. It's the colonial house. Well, it better have a guy with a triangle hat and a musket. It's the stucco house. Stucco? Stucco sounds like a clown that can't get out of stuff.
Stucco.
We all have the people in our lives that will give vague instructions on many things, not just directions to where you're headed.
It's when they go, okay, go down this road, there'll be a McDonald's, but don't turn there.
Right.
I'm like, well, don't tell me about the McDonald's.
Right.
Yes. That's always would crack me up growing up. They would tell you a landmark, but don't turn there. Don't turn. Right. Nope. Just keep going.
Just keep passing that landmark. Well, okay. So is it a relevant landmark or no?
Right.
Speaking of landmarks, in our retirement, there are such things. There are ages, there are milestones, there are things that come up. But when it comes to navigating those landmarks, the last thing any of us needs are vague directions or instructions on how to do so. So how do you help people create that clear roadmap, if you will, for the years ahead?
Yeah. So the way that we do that is with our customized retirement playbook. And yes, there are, think of it as major exits along this road where certain things come online, like Social Security income. Okay. So 62 might be a major exit for you and your considerations. Or 65, we got to go 3 more miles, to get to 65 because of Medicare. Or 67 because of full retirement age for Social Security, right? So there's several things that are kind of like pre-built in my planning process.
Okay.
But we can, of course, retire at 60 if we want to, a couple years before Social Security, but we've got a gap to fill here with your income. So there's ways to really, work this plan and make it fit your timeline. Okay. And what I do is when you come in and you share everything that you've done, and we look at all the hard work, look at everything that you have. Maybe you've got a pension, or maybe there's no pension, but you've got a 401k, $1 million in your tax deferred account, or maybe you've sold a house and downsized, and you've got a joint brokerage account, 500,000 over here, right? So there's going to be different buckets, different things, and I need to know the whole picture. I need to see everything. And then what I do is I say, okay, now, when do you want to retire? Right, is one of the big questions, and I'll get answers like yesterday. I'll get 62.
Yeah.
Or then I'll hear some of these.
I'm sure you hear a lot of I don't know. Well, that's why I'm here,
Brandon.
Jinx, give me a Coke.
So then we start working with those timelines. Okay, and so I did this. Some clients of mine, they've been clients for about 5 years.
Okay.
They're up in Somerville. He's a pastor and she teaches, teaches school. And so they had saved about $1 million, done great. And their house is about to be paid off here next year. Okay. In 2027. So then they're going to be debt free. Right. So they're kind of like coming up on like hitting the tape, almost like as a marathon runner, like, okay, you've now finished the Boston Marathon, great job. So we had planned 5 years ago, we had planned for this timeline for this to happen, for him to retire here this year. And then she was going to work one more year so that she can start her Social Security when she's 63. Okay. So he retired. He's been retired for a couple months now, my client here. And so he called me here earlier this week and he was like, okay, Brandon, we've been, I've been retired here for a couple months and she's been working and she's going to work one more year teaching. Right. And they get paid till July. Right. And she was going to do one more year and have income till next July. Right. For the school calendar year. But he said, Brandon, between you and me, he got like real serious, in his phone, his phone. He's like, between you and me, she's losing energy.
Teaching
same with him,
job.
right? He's like,
that is very demanding.
Teaching is one of I come from a lot of educators and, my mom, aunts, a lot of educators. You're overworked, you're underpaid.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I have so much respect for educators.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Teaching is hard. Number one. Number two, she still has to set her alarm and he does not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So then it's like having to get up and this stress and pressure and the kids were awful today, honey. Right? I mean, it bugs you even more.
Yep.
It's a bigger problem.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so he was like, we're losing energy. And she came to me, just a few days ago and was really honest and said, honey, I want to retire too. My heart's not in it anymore. I don't want to keep doing this. I want to be with you. I want to do things together, but I got to go to work here 5 days a week. And you don't leave it at the school. You bring home the schoolwork and you work on it at nights and over the weekend and all this stuff, right? You can't just leave it at school, all these grading papers and all this stuff that teachers have to do. So he's like, but I know we're not starting her Social Security till next year. And I was like, but that was when she's 63. And I was only saying 63 because she was going to work one more year. Right? Because of the earnings test, we didn't want to start it because she's going to make too much money. I was like, hang on. And I'm on the phone and I'm like fixing the plan on my computer as we're talking, right? I'm like, okay, here's the new Social Security amount. Here's all this. And I was like, you're about to pay off the house, right? And I said, yes. And so I put that in there, $1,000 reduction right there on the mortgage, right? I was like, you said your expenses are $7,000 a month. And he goes, yeah, that's right. And it'll be $6,000 once we pay off the house. And I was like, okay, with your 3 checks, she's got a pension from the state because she's an educator. And then 2 Social Securities, just those 3 guaranteed paychecks cover their expenses. Okay. And I was like, so time out. Listen, because we can start her Social Security, you guys can retire. She can retire here, right? She does not have to go back for this last painful year of working. I was like, you guys can not only retire now, but secondly, we don't even have to touch the portfolio. And he was like, are you kidding me? I thought I was going to have to come back to her this afternoon when she gets back here. We're going to have another talk. And I thought I was going to have to tell her that, I called Brandon, but, it doesn't look good and things. And I was like, no, you can tell her. I was like, go make a dinner, make this thing, have fun with this celebration here. Yeah. This great news. Yes. That like, honey, you don't have to go back. You need to, of course, let them know quick because, they're losing a great asset, a great teacher. But you guys now know that you can confidently spend a certain amount of money, right? We're reducing risk. We're not even touching the $1 million portfolio. Oh my gosh. That thing, we can do some things there. We can do some giving. They're super charitable, of course, him being a pastor. So that is what my customized retirement playbook did. It's not a rigid plan. It's a fluid plan. So when the only thing constant in retirement is change. Okay. That's the only thing that I know is going to happen is that things are going to change. And so when these things happen, things change and our portfolio needs to be able to adapt. So if you don't have a living, breathing plan that can make changes, you can call your advisor, you have a personal relationship with them. then you deserve one. Pick up your phone. My phone number for my office is 843-890-2400. 843-890-2400. If you've saved $500,000 or more, you deserve your very own living, breathing, customized retirement playbook. I would love for you to call in or text Tanya at 843-890-2400. You can text the word playbook, and we'll know exactly what you want. You're calling or texting and asking for your own customized plan. 843-890-2400.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.